For my birthday, my wife set up a fake surprise. Cameras, crowd, and a pizza box with my name on it. When I walked in, they cheered for my best friend. She stood on stage and announced, "Sorry, he doesn't celebrate." I turned and left. The clip went viral. My wife's mom texted, "Why is everyone freaking out?" Look, I'm not the kind of guy who needs a parade every time I age another year. I don't need sparklers in my dessert or a mariachi band serenading me while I pretend I'm not slowly dying inside from the attention. Honestly, birthdays stopped being magical somewhere. Around the time I realized cake is just sugar coated disappointment and nobody actually cares about your wish unless it involves them getting drunk on your dime. But here's the thing, even with my spectacularly low expectations, I figured my own wife would at least pretend to remember I existed on the one day a year where Hallmark literally does all the emotional labor for you. Harper had been acting weird all week. Not the usual, "I'm annoyed you left dishes in the sink again" weird, but like espionage weird. She'd disappear into the bathroom with her phone, whispering like she was coordinating a hostage negotiation. When I'd walk into a room, she'd slam her laptop shut so fast I thought she was either planning my surprise party or shopping for my replacement on Match.com. Being the trusting idiot, sorry, emotionally available husband that I am, I assumed it was the party thing. Sweet, right? Adorable, even. Logan, you absolute muppet. The day itself started normal enough. I woke up to Harper already dressed, which should have been red flag number one, because that woman treats sleeping in like it's an Olympic sport. She kissed my forehead. Red flag number two, because affection before coffee is scientifically suspicious, and told me she had a few errands to run. Then she hit me with the kicker. "Be home by 7, okay? And wear something nice." She said it with this smile that I now realize was less loving wife and more villain in a Lifetime movie who's about to poison the pot roast. I spent the day actually feeling pretty good. Got a decent lunch, treated myself to a new pair of socks, because apparently that's what constitutes self care when you're in your 30s, and even grabbed a six pack of that fancy IPA I pretend to enjoy, because regular beer feels too pedestrian now that I'm an adult. I pulled into our driveway at 6:57 p.m., fashionably early, wearing the button-down shirt Harper bought me last Christmas that I'm pretty sure came from the clearance rack, but whatever, it's the thought that counts, right? The house was dark, completely dark, like horror movie before the possessed doll shows up dark. I should have turned around right there, gotten back in my car, and driven straight to therapy. Instead, I walked in like a lamb to the slaughter, fumbling for the light switch, when suddenly, boom, lights exploded on, music blasted from speakers I didn't even know we owned. And about 40 people screamed, "Surprise!" so loud, I nearly had a cardiac event right there on my own welcome mat. Here's where it gets good or bad. Depends on your tolerance for public humiliation. I'm standing there, blinking like an idiot, trying to process the sea of faces. Coworkers, neighbors, Harper's entire extended family, including her Aunt Linda, who once told me I seemed like the type who peaked in high school. Joke's on you, Linda. I didn't even peak then. When I noticed something's off. The banner hanging across our living room, the one that should say "Happy Birthday, Logan," or literally anything with my name on it, says, "Dylan's 30th. Let's go!" Dylan. My best friend Dylan. The guy I've known since college, the dude who still thinks Axe body spray is acceptable after 25, the absolute legend who once ate an entire rotisserie chicken in my car and left the bones in my cup holder for 3 days. That Dylan. And there he is, center stage in my living room, wearing a sash that says "Birthday King" and holding a beer that I paid for, grinning like he just won the lottery while everyone, literally everyone, swarms him with hugs and high fives and the kind of attention people usually reserve for returning war heroes or celebrities at airport terminals. I'm frozen, completely frozen. My brain is doing that thing where it tries to reboot but keeps getting error messages. I'm scanning the room for context clues for someone to make eye contact and acknowledge that, yes, this is absolutely insane when I spot a small folding table shoved in the corner next to the recycling bin. On it sits a pizza box, just a regular pizza box from Domino's, and someone has scrawled "Happy Birthday, Logan" on the lid with what appears to be a Sharpie that was running out of ink. Next to it, A 2 liter of off-brand cola that's already gone flat, and sweating condensation onto the table like it's as uncomfortable as I am. That's it. That's my entire birthday acknowledgement. A pizza box. Not even a pizza inside it. I checked later, just crumbs and a receipt showing Harper ordered it as an afterthought at 5:40 p.m., probably right after she remembered I technically existed. I'm doing mental math, trying to figure out if this is some elaborate prank where everyone's going to turn around and yell, "Just kidding, this is actually for you." But no, Dylan's opening presents. Presents. Multiple people brought this man gifts. I watched my coworker Janet hand him a gift card to Best Buy, and I'm thinking, Janet, you literally forgot my name last week and called me Brandon in a meeting. Then Harper, my wife, my partner, the woman who promised to love me in sickness and health and apparently also in complete social annihilation, grabs a microphone, an actual microphone. She had a sound system set up and everything. She taps it twice, does that annoying feedback check thing, and announces to the room, "Hey everyone, sorry for the confusion, but Logan doesn't really celebrate birthdays. He's super low-key about it." The crowd laughs. They actually laugh. Like this is charming information, like I'm some quirky minimalist monk who's transcended the mortal need for acknowledgement. Harper's beaming, clearly proud of herself for managing everyone's expectations about why they're celebrating someone else entirely on my birthday and in my house with my money. I catch Dylan's eye. He looks confused for half a second. Like maybe he's finally connecting the dots that this might be weird, but then someone hands him a shot and the moment passes. He shrugs at me, literally shrugs, and downs it while people cheer. That's when something inside me just clicks off. Not in a dramatic explosion way, but quiet, like a switch flipping. The same switch that's been getting dimmer every time Harper forgot to mention I was invited to her work events, or every time Dylan borrowed money and paid me back in exposure and half-hearted promises. The same switch that's been barely hanging on through every family dinner where I'm treated like the IT guy they keep around to fix the Wi-Fi. I don't say anything. I don't make a scene. I just turn around, slowly, deliberately, and walk back toward the front door I came through approximately 90 seconds ago, though it feels like I've aged 17 years since then. Logan, where are you going?" Harper's voice cuts through the music, but I don't turn around. Someone else, I think it's Dylan, yells, "Bro, wait, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" "Buddy, I'm about to go find my dignity somewhere between the produce section and the liquor aisle, then maybe grab some self-respect from the clearance bin while I'm at it." I make it to my car, climb in, and sit there for a second in the darkness. Through the window, I can see the party continuing. Nobody's following me out. The music's still playing. And Harper's probably already explaining to everyone that I'm just being dramatic or having one of his moods. I can see it now, her doing that thing where she tilts her head sympathetically and says he gets like this sometimes, while everyone nods like they understand, like I'm the problem. I start the engine. In the rearview mirror, I catch a glimpse of myself. I don't look angry. I don't even look sad, really. I just look done. Completely, utterly, categorically done. And you know what? For the first time in probably 5 years, I feel something close to clarity. I put the car in reverse and pull out of my own driveway, leaving behind a house full of people celebrating someone else's life, while mine sits in a pizza box next to the recycling. Happy birthday to me, I guess. I made it approximately 3 miles before my phone started having a full-blown seizure in the cup holder. Buzz after buzz after buzz, like someone was performing CPR on it. I ignored it for the first 15 buzzes, because I was busy having what I can only describe as an out-of-body experience while driving, which is probably not recommended by the DMV, but felt oddly appropriate given the circumstances. By buzz number 30, curiosity got the better of me, and I pulled into a gas station parking lot that smelled like unleaded gasoline and broken dreams. Big mistake. Huge mistake. Monumentally stupid mistake. The first thing I see when I unlock my phone is a notification from Instagram. You've been tagged in 47 posts. 47. I've been gone from my own house for less time than it takes to watch an episode of The Office, and somehow I'm already immortalized across social media like some kind of digital martyr. I click on the first tag, and there it is, a video that someone, probably Harper's cousin Jessica, who films everything like she's an embedded war journalist, posted with the caption, "When you throw a surprise party, But the birthday boy leaves Nash awkward. Party fail? Sorry, not sorry. The video has been up for 23 minutes and already has over 1,500 views. 1,500 views. I watch myself in grainy smartphone quality, standing in my own living room looking like a confused golden retriever who just realized he's at the vet and not the park. You can see the exact moment my soul leaves my body. It's right around the 7-second mark when I spot the pizza box. Then there's me turning around with the emotional range of a man who just discovered his entire life is a lie, which, to be fair, is pretty accurate. The video cuts off right as I reach the door. And the comments section is already a dumpster fire of opinions from people who don't know me, have never met me, and will probably forget I exist by tomorrow morning. Dude needs to chill. It's just a party. This is why men are so fragile, Elmu. Okay, but why is he so dramatic, though? Plot twist. He's the real birthday boy, and nobody cared. That last one hurt because, congratulations, random internet stranger. You've cracked the code. You want a prize? How about my crippling sense of inadequacy wrapped in a bow? I scroll further and find that someone has created a hashtag, an actual hashtag. PizzaBach. Birthday is already trending locally, which is just fantastic because apparently my emotional breakdown is now a branded event. There are memes. Someone photoshopped my face onto that disappointed guy at party template. Another person made a TikTok using the sad violin sound effect over a freeze frame of me staring at the pizza box. I've become a content creator's dream, viral, relatable, and completely out of control of my own narrative. Then I see Harper's sister Mia has commented on the original video. He's so dramatic, it was just a joke, everyone needs to relax. Mia, who once cried at Thanksgiving because someone ate the last dinner roll before she could Instagram it, is calling me dramatic. The irony is so thick you could serve it as gravy. My phone buzzes again. This time, it's a text from Harper's mother, Barbara, who texts like she's sending telegrams in the 1940s. Logan, why is everyone freaking out on the Facebook? Call me. Barbara, sweetie, let me break this down for you in terms your generation might understand. Your daughter just publicly humiliated me on the internet, which is like if someone announced your failures over the radio during your favorite soap opera, except millions of people can watch it forever and make jokes about it while they're supposed to be working. I don't respond to Barbara because, honestly, what am I going to say? Hey, future ex-mother-in-law, your daughter turned my birthday into a social experiment about how much disrespect one human can tolerate before they spontaneously combust. No thanks, I'll pass. Instead, I do what any rational person spiraling into an existential crisis would do. I open Twitter, and oh boy, I've made it to Twitter. Some account called @PartyDisasters has shared the video with the caption, "This man walked out of his own surprise party when he realized it was for his friend's source. Trust me, bro, this is real." It has 42,000 retweets. 42,000. I'm sitting in this gas station parking lot, watching my life become a cautionary tale in real time, and I can feel myself entering what I can only describe as the acceptance stage of grief. Not sadness, not anger, just this weird Zen state where you realize that fighting it is pointless. The internet has decided who I am. Pizza box guy. The man who couldn't handle a simple misunderstanding. The dramatic husband who ruins parties. Except here's the thing nobody on the internet knows because why would they? Context doesn't get clicks. Harper didn't just forget my birthday. She actively chose to celebrate someone else on it. Dylan didn't just happen to have a party the same night. He knew. They all knew. This wasn't some hilarious mix-up or scheduling conflict. This was intentional. They made a choice, and that choice was basically, Logan's feelings are like that optional insurance at the rental car place. Technically available, but who actually buys it? My phone rings. It's Dylan. I stare at his name on the screen. Dylan, well, because we thought we were hilarious when we were 22, and I let it go to voicemail. He calls again immediately. Then Harper calls, then Dylan again. It's like they've formed a tag team of people who suddenly care about my whereabouts, now that there's social media attention involved. I finally answer on Harper's fourth call, mostly because I'm worried she'll show up at every location I've ever mentioned visiting, and I don't need that kind of stalker energy in my life right now. Logan, oh my God, where are you? She sounds panicked, but also annoyed, which is an impressive emotional combination that only she can pull off. Everyone's asking about you. This is so embarrassing. For you or for me? I ask, and my voice comes out calmer than I expected. Because I'm sitting in a Chevron parking lot watching myself become a meme, so I'm going to go ahead and say I've cornered the market on embarrassment tonight. It was supposed to be funny, a surprise for both of you. She's doing that thing where she tries to rewrite history in real time. Like, if she says it confidently enough, reality will just shrug and go along with it. Harper, there was a pizza box with my name on it next to the trash. A pizza box. Do you understand how that reads symbolically? Because the internet sure does. You're being ridiculous. Just come back and we'll explain everything to people. We can fix this. And there it is, the we that really means you. Come back and help us do damage control on the situation we created. Come back and smile for the cameras so people stop asking uncomfortable questions. Come back and be the good sport you've always been, Logan, because your feelings are less important than everyone else's comfort. No, I say, and it feels revolutionary. I don't think I will. What do you mean you won't? Logan, this is childish. You're making this a bigger deal than it is. Harper, I'm trending. I'm a hashtag. Random people in other states are debating my emotional stability. I'm pretty sure I didn't make it a big deal. You did that when you hit record. She starts to say something else, but I hang up. Just straight up end the call like I'm in a movie and it's a dramatic moment. Except I'm in a gas station parking lot and there's a guy arguing with a lottery machine 10 feet away, so it's less cinematic and more sad indie film about American decay. I sit there for another minute, watching the notifications continue to roll in. Someone's made a GoFundMe to buy Pizza Box Guy a real cake. I'm simultaneously touched and horrified. Another person has started a Reddit thread titled AITA, the Pizza Box Birthday Incident. Let's discuss. According to the preview, I'm currently winning the not the a-hole vote by a landslide, which feels like the participation trophy of internet validation, but I'll take it. Then I do something I should have done 30 minutes ago. I order food, real food, drive-through food. The kind of food that comes in bags and tastes like giving up, but in a comforting way. I pull up to the McDonald's drive-through speaker and order a Big Mac meal with a Coke so large it probably violates several health regulations. When I get to the window, the teenager working there does a double take. Yo, are you the pizza box dude? I close my eyes and take a deep breath. Yeah, that's me. Bro, that's rough. Your wife seems kinda... He trails off, realizing he probably shouldn't finish that sentence while at work. Yeah, I agree. She does. He gives me extra fries without charging me, which is honestly the nicest thing anyone's done for me all day. Happy birthday, man. I drive to the far corner of the parking lot, unwrap my burger, and take a bite while scrolling through my phone one more time. I look at my reflection in the rearview mirror between bites. My hair's a mess. My fancy clearance rack shirt has a wrinkle across the chest. I have a tiny bit of special sauce on my chin, and you know what? I don't look angry. I don't even look sad anymore. I just look done. Completely, thoroughly, categorically done. Like someone who just realized that the life they've been living isn't actually theirs. It's been a supporting role in someone else's story. And they didn't even get their name on the poster. I finish my burger, wipe my face, and start the car. I have no idea where I'm going, but anywhere feels better than back there. Back to that house full of people who think my feelings are optional extras in the package deal of my existence. My phone buzzes one more time, another tag, another share, another comment from someone with an anime profile picture who's never met me but has strong opinions about my life choices. I silence it completely and drive. Turns out, when you're having an existential crisis at 9:30 on a Friday night, your options for accommodations are pretty limited unless you want to drop $200 on a Hampton Inn that'll judge you for checking in without luggage. So I end up at the Silver Lantern Motel, which sounds way more charming than it actually is. The sign out front is missing the V in vacancy, so it just says acancy, which feels like a perfect metaphor for my life right now. Technically functional, but missing a crucial piece. The parking lot has exactly 4 cars in it, and 3 of them look like they haven't moved since the Clinton administration. There's a flickering neon light that's trying its absolute best to spell out hotel and doing a C- job of it. The building itself is that specific shade of beige that architects choose when they want to communicate we've given up without actually saying it out loud. It's beautiful in its honesty, really. No pretense, no Instagram filters, just pure, uncut mediocrity. I walk into the lobby, which smells like a combination of industrial air freshener. The kind that doesn't actually smell like pine trees, but rather what a corporation thinks pine trees should smell like. And something I can only describe as old carpet meeting its destiny. There's a bell on the counter, one of those little silver ones you're supposed to ding for service. But before I can even reach for it, a guy emerges from the back room like a vampire, who's really not thrilled about being awake. His name tag says Chad, and he looks exactly like a Chad who works the night shift at a motel called the Silver Lantern, early 20s, wearing a polo shirt that's seen better days, with the kind of facial expression that suggests his soul left his body around hour 3 of his shift and hasn't come back yet. He's got the personality of a DMV printer, functional, depressing, and making a weird noise that makes you concerned something's about to break. Need a room? He asks, not looking up from his phone where he's clearly watching a YouTube video with the volume on low. I can hear someone screaming about cryptocurrency. Yeah, just for the night, I say, pulling out my wallet and trying to look like a normal person who checks into budget motels at this hour for completely legitimate, non-suspicious reasons. Chad finally looks at me, and I see the flicker of recognition in his eyes. Oh no, oh please no. Yo, wait, are you... He starts, and I can see him pulling up Instagram on his phone. Please don't, I interrupt, sliding my credit card across the counter like I'm bribing a border guard. I'll pay cash if you promise to pretend you've never seen me before in your life. He considers this for a moment, then shrugs. $65, cash works. I've never been more grateful for apathy in my entire life. I hand him the money, actual physical bills that I had wadded up in my wallet for emergencies. And buddy, if this doesn't qualify as an emergency, I don't know what does. Celebrating something? Chad asks while processing my payment, and I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or if this is just his standard script for guest interaction. Yep, I say, matching his energy. Finally reading the fine print on marriage. Turns out there's a lot of terms and conditions I missed. He snorts, which might be the most emotion I've seen from him. Room 214, second floor, end of the hall. Ice machine's broken. Vending machine only takes exact change, and the Wi-Fi password is Silver Lantern 1998, all one word, in capital S and L. He slides me a key, an actual physical key, attached to a plastic diamond-shaped tag, not a key card, because this place is apparently stuck in a time loop from before the internet ruined everything. And then he hands me something else, a coupon. Free coffee in the morning, he says. Continental breakfast runs from 6 to 9, but between you and me, get there at 6 if you actually want anything edible. By 7, it's just the sad muffins nobody wanted. Thanks, Chad, you're a real one. I know, he says, already back to his cryptocurrency video. I climb the stairs to the second floor and they creak like they're narrating my journey. The hallway is lit by fluorescent lights that buzz with the intensity of angry bees, and the carpet has a pattern that's either geometric or just really aggressive water damage. I honestly can't tell. Room 214 is at the end of the hall, just like Chad promised, wedged between room 213, which is blasting what sounds like a true crime podcast, and room 215, which is ominously silent. I unlock the door and step inside, and honestly, it's not terrible. I mean, it's not good, but it's not, I'm going to get murdered here and end up on Dateline territory either. There's a queen-size bed with a comforter that's definitely seen some things but appears clean. A TV from 2007 bolted to the wall. A desk with a chair that's probably never been sat in. A bathroom with one of those combination shower tubs and more tiny bottles of shampoo than any human could possibly need for a single night. But here's the thing. It's quiet. Blissfully, wonderfully quiet. No one's here asking me why I loaded the dishwasher wrong or why I didn't remember that we had couple friends coming over on a day I was never told about. No one's posting my every move online for engagement metrics. No one's explaining to me why my feelings about my own birthday are actually the problem. I drop my keys on the desk, kick off my shoes, and just stand there for a second, absorbing the silence. Then I do what any rational man in his 30s having a breakdown would do. I open up every delivery app on my phone to see who's still operating at this hour. Pizza Hut? Open. Domino's? Open. Papa John's? Open, but I have standards, even in crisis. I scroll past 17 chain restaurants before I find a local place called Bruno's Pizzeria that has a 4.2-star rating and a menu that looks like it was designed in Microsoft Paint in 2003. Perfect. I order a large pepperoni pizza. None of this gourmet nonsense with arugula or truffle oil, just pure, unadulterated cheese and meat. And a 2 liter of actual Coca-Cola because I'm not drinking off-brand cola in a motel room. I have some dignity left. The estimated delivery time is 45 minutes, which gives me just enough time to take the longest, hottest shower of my life. The water pressure is surprisingly decent, which feels like the universe throwing me a bone after the day I've had. I stand under the spray until my fingers prune and the mirror fogs up completely, washing away the feeling of being perceived by thousands of strangers who think they know my story based on a 30-second video clip. When I get out, I wrap myself in a towel that's thin enough to read through but at least smells clean, and I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror. I look different somehow. Not better exactly, just lighter. Like I've put down a backpack I didn't realize I was carrying. My eyes aren't doing that thing where they look tired even when I've slept. My shoulders aren't up around my ears like I'm constantly bracing for impact. There's a knock at the door, the pizza guy, right on time. I tip him 20 bucks cash because he's driving around at 10:30 at night bringing sad people comfort food. And that deserves recognition. He looks at the bill, looks at me in my motel towels, and just nods like he gets it. Rough night? He asks. You have no idea. Been there, man. Enjoy the pizza. I take my pizza back inside, set it up on the desk like I'm arranging a still life painting, and crack open the Coke. No plates, no napkins beyond the 2 sad ones they threw in the box. Just me and a gloriously hot, perfectly greasy pizza that no one else has claimed as theirs or turned into content. I take the first bite, and I swear to God, it tastes like freedom. Like every decision I've made that led me to this exact moment, this motel room, this pizza, this absolute baseline existence, was actually the right one. There's something deeply satisfying about eating food that exists purely for your own enjoyment, not as a backdrop for someone's food blog or an Instagram story about date night goals. I turn on the ancient TV and flip through channels until I find a rerun of some home improvement show where people are agonizing over backsplash tiles like it's a life or death decision. It's mindless, it's boring, and it's absolutely perfect. No drama, no surprise parties, no one asking me to perform emotions for an audience. Halfway through the pizza, my phone buzzes. I've been ignoring it for the past hour, letting the notifications pile up like unpaid parking tickets. I finally check. 37 missed calls, 63 texts, and so many social media notifications that my phone has just given up and shows 99 plus, like it's too exhausted to keep counting. Harper's texts are a journey through the 5 stages of grief. Logan, come back. Everyone's worried. Denial. You're being ridiculous. Anger. Can we please just talk about this like adults? Bargaining. I can't believe you're doing this to me. Depression. Fine, stay gone. See if I care. Acceptance. Dylan's texts are simpler. Bro, followed by 15 question marks spread across separate messages like he's slowly losing his mind. Barbara has sent me a Facebook message that's somehow in all caps despite her claiming she doesn't understand how the computer works. I screenshot that last message from Harper, the see if I care one, and I save it in a folder I create on the spot called receipts. Not because I'm planning revenge or want to win some argument later, but because I know myself. I know that in a week or a month, I might start questioning if I overreacted. I might start thinking, maybe I was too sensitive. Maybe I should have just laughed it off. Maybe I'm the problem, like everyone's suggesting. This screenshot is insurance against that version of me. Physical proof that I'm not crazy, that this actually happened, that my feelings aren't some glitch in the matrix. I finish my pizza, wash it down with enough Coke to give me cavities, and brush my teeth with the tiny toothbrush and toothpaste combo that Chad gave me at check-in. Then I climb into bed, this random motel bed that thousands of strangers have slept in, and I pull the sheets up to my chin. The bed is surprisingly comfortable. The pillows are lumpy but adequate. The room is still quiet except for the muffled true crime podcast next door, which has moved on to discussing forensic evidence. I lie there in the dark, staring at the ceiling where there's a water stain that looks vaguely like Abraham Lincoln. And I realize something that hits me harder than it should. I feel peaceful. Actually, genuinely peaceful. More peaceful than I've felt in my own house in maybe 2 years. Nobody's going to wake me up at 6:30 to ask if I've seen their good yoga pants. Nobody's going to criticize how I'm breathing too loudly. Nobody's going to tell me I'm doing relaxation wrong. I grab the remote and toast myself with the last swig of Coke straight from the bottle. Happy birthday, you emotionally available idiot. Then I close my eyes and fall asleep within minutes, which is something I haven't been able to do without scrolling my phone for at least an hour and God knows how long. Best birthday gift I could have given myself, turns out, was a $65 room and permission to just exist. I wake up to sunlight forcing its way through curtains that are about as effective at blocking light as a chain link fence is at holding water. For a solid 10 seconds, I have no idea where I am. The ceiling's wrong, the walls are wrong, everything smells like industrial detergent, and the dreams of traveling salesmen from 1987. Then, it all comes flooding back. The party, the pizza box, the grand exit, Chad and his cryptocurrency obsession. And instead of feeling that usual morning dread, I feel okay. Almost good, even. My phone is on the nightstand where I left it last night, face down like I was trying to smother it. I check the time, 7:42 a.m. I actually slept in, which is a miracle considering my body's been trained to wake up at 6:30 sharp for the past 3 years because Harper insists successful people don't waste mornings. Harper also insists that saying namaste after yoga makes her more enlightened, so maybe her life advice isn't worth the premium price tag of my sanity. I flip the phone over and immediately wish I hadn't. The screen is absolutely hemorrhaging notifications. My lock screen looks like a slot machine that hit jackpot. Numbers everywhere. Red badges on every app. Messages from people I haven't spoken to since high school when we pretended we'd stay friends forever and then immediately didn't. The first thing I notice is a text from my old college roommate Marcus, sent at 2:37 a.m. Dude, you're famous. Call me when you're alive. Famous. That's a word that should feel exciting, but instead lands in my stomach like a bowling ball made of anxiety. I open Instagram first because I'm a glutton for punishment. And the video from last night now has 47,000 views. 47,000. I've been tagged in over 200 posts. There are reaction videos, multiple reaction videos. People I've never met are filming themselves watching me, have the worst night of my life, and providing commentary like they're sports analysts breaking down game footage. One girl with purple hair and 12 nose piercings has posted a 4-minute TikTok titled, Let's Talk About Pizza Box Guy's Wife, a deep dive, that has 1.2 million views. I watch about 30 seconds of it before my brain starts leaking out of my ears. But the gist is that thousands of strangers have apparently formed very strong opinions about Harper based on a 30-second clip. They've gone through her Instagram, screenshot her live laugh love posts, analyzed her bio that says, manifesting my best life wifey content creator, and have collectively decided she represents everything wrong with influencer culture. Which, okay, fair. But also, this is spiraling in ways I didn't anticipate. My actual phone notifications are even more chaotic. I've got texts from my barber. Bro, you legend. Next cut's on me. My aunt, who I see once a year at Thanksgiving. Logan, honey, are you okay? Your mother is beside herself. Call her. 3 different coworkers, all saying variations of, saw the video, that's rough, man. My gym buddy Trevor, who I haven't actually gone to the gym with in 8 months. Yo, that's you? Even my dentist's office has texted me, which is surreal. Hi, Logan. Just a reminder, you have a cleaning scheduled for next Tuesday. P.S. We saw the video. Hang in there. My dentist feels bad for me. My dental hygienist has opinions about my marriage. This is the world we live in now. But the real kicker, the thing that makes me actually laugh out loud in this motel room, is Harper's latest post. Because of course she's posted. Of course she has. The woman treats social media like oxygen. She can't go more than 4 hours without documenting her existence for public consumption. She's uploaded a video to Instagram, and the thumbnail shows her sitting on our couch, the one I helped pick out and paid for, looking absolutely distraught. Her hair is in a messy bun, which I know for a fact takes her 20 minutes to make look effortlessly undone. She's wearing her comfy clothes, which is actually a matching loungewear set that cost $140. Her eyes are red, possibly from crying, possibly from the filter she's using that makes everyone look like a sad Victorian ghost. The caption reads, I need to address last night. My heart is broken. What was supposed to be a fun celebration got completely misunderstood. I never meant to hurt anyone, especially Logan. Sometimes jokes don't land the way we intend, and I take full responsibility. I'm learning and growing every day. Please respect our privacy during this difficult time. Hashtag accountability matters. Hashtag growth mindset. Hashtag marriage is hard. I click on the video, and there she is, doing her signature vulnerable influencer voice. You know the one, where they talk slightly quieter than normal and pause dramatically like they're in a one-woman show about trauma. Hey guys, she starts, and already I'm grinding my teeth. I know you've all seen the video from last night, and I need to say something. She takes a deep breath that's definitely rehearsed. What happened was a complete misunderstanding. Logan and Dylan are both so important to me, and I thought it would be fun to celebrate them together. I didn't realize how it would come across on camera. The pizza box thing, that was supposed to be an inside joke between us, but I see now how it looked, and I'm so sorry. She dabs at her eyes with a tissue. There's gentle ukulele music playing in the background, ukulele music. Like this is an indie folk song about heartbreak and not a PR campaign for why publicly humiliating your husband is actually fine if you feel bad about it afterwards. Logan, if you're watching this, she continues, looking directly into the camera with those big, perfectly mascaraed eyes, I love you. I'm sorry. Please come home so we can talk about this like adults. I miss you. The video has been up for 2 hours and already has 15,000 likes and hundreds of comments. I scroll through them, and they're split pretty evenly between, you seem really genuine. We all make mistakes. And, nah, sis, this ain't it. That man deserves better. Then I see Harper's sister Mia has commented, so proud of you for taking accountability. Some people just can't take a joke, with 12 heart emojis, because subtlety is not a family trait, apparently. And Harper's mom, Barbara, has written an actual essay in the comments section. My daughter has the biggest heart of anyone I know. She would never intentionally hurt anyone. This whole situation has been blown completely out of proportion by social media and people who don't know the full story. Logan has always been sensitive, and this is just another example of him overreacting to something innocent. Harper deserves better than this public shaming. Team Harper, from Family First. I read Barbara's comment 3 times, each time feeling a different emotion. First read, disbelief. Second read, anger. Third read, something that feels weirdly like liberation. Because there it is, in writing, in public, for everyone to see, the narrative that I've been living with for 3 years. Logan's too sensitive. Logan overreacts. Logan's the problem. Never mind the circumstances, never mind what actually happened. Just blame Logan because it's easier than examining Harper's behavior. The comments under Barbara's essay are not kind to Barb, which gives me a tiny, petty bit of satisfaction that I'm not entirely proud of, but also not apologizing for. Ma'am, your daughter threw a whole party for someone else on her husband's birthday, in his house. That's not sensitivity, that's called having basic self-respect. The way you're attacking your son-in-law publicly is telling us everything we need to know about this family dynamic. Logan deserves better is right, but probably not in the way you meant it. My phone buzzes with an incoming call. Harper. Again, this is her 9th call this morning. I let it go to voicemail and instead open my texts to find messages I actually want to read. Marcus has sent me a link to a Twitter thread with the caption, Bro, you're a whole movement now. I click it and discover that someone with the handle Modern Dating is Trash has written a 15-tweet analysis of my situation, complete with screenshots and commentary, calling it a perfect example of how emotional labor imbalance and social media narcissism are destroying relationships. It has 68,000 likes. I'm a case study. I'm a cautionary tale. I'm a meme, a hashtag, and apparently a whole movement. My coworker Janet, the same Janet who gave Dylan a Best Buy gift card, has texted, Logan, I had no idea about the birthday thing. Harper told us it was Dylan's party and you were fine with it. Feel terrible. Let me know if you need anything. So Harper lied. She specifically told people I was fine with it and doesn't celebrate anyway. She constructed an entire narrative to preempt anyone questioning why she was throwing a party for my best friend on my birthday. That's not a misunderstanding. That's premeditated. I'm about to fall down another internet rabbit hole when there's a knock on my door. For a second, I panic, thinking Harper somehow tracked me down like a bloodhound with a Ring doorbell addiction. But then I remember. Free coffee. Continental breakfast. Chad's warning about the sad muffins. I throw on yesterday's clothes, which smell vaguely like French fries and existential crisis, and head downstairs to the breakfast area. It's a small room off the lobby with exactly 4 tables, a counter with a waffle maker that looks like it's planning retirement, and a coffee station featuring the saddest pot of coffee I've ever seen in my life. But it's free. And right now, free coffee tastes like victory. I pour myself a cup in a styrofoam container that immediately starts burning my hand. Grab one of the remaining muffins. Blueberry, slightly hard, but I've eaten worse. And sit down at a table with a wobbly leg that makes me feel like I'm on a boat. Chad walks by, sees me, and gives me a nod of recognition. Coffee good? It tastes like hot cardboard, I say honestly, but it's exactly what I needed. That's the spirit, he says, and I think we might be friends now. I sit there in this depressing motel breakfast area, drinking burnt coffee and eating a muffin that's seen better days, scrolling through hundreds of messages from people who suddenly care about my existence. And somewhere between the terrible coffee and the realization that my dentist has seen me at my lowest, I start to feel something unexpected. Not happiness exactly, not quite peace, but something close to clarity, purpose. The sense that maybe, just maybe, walking out of that party wasn't the end of something. Maybe it was the beginning. I raise my styrofoam cup of regret-flavored coffee and a solo toast to myself. Happy day after birthday, you beautiful disaster. Welcome to your villain origin story. The coffee tastes terrible, but the freedom tastes pretty damn good. So here's the thing about rock bottom. It gives you a lot of time to think. And when you're sitting in a motel room that costs less per night than your wife spends on a single juice cleanse, you start thinking about things like money. Specifically, where your money actually goes and why you're funding a lifestyle that apparently doesn't include basic human respect for your existence. I'm on my second cup of Chad's disaster coffee back in room 214 when I decide to do something I probably should have done years ago. I open my banking app. Not just a casual glance at the balance like I usually do, that thing where you check real quick to make sure you're not overdrafted and then immediately close it before the anxiety sets in. No, I'm talking a deep dive, a full audit, a let's see exactly where my money is going investigation that feels long overdue. I log into my checking account first, and the number is fine. It's not great, not terrible, just fine, and about $3,000, which should feel comfortable, except I know I make decent money and I have no idea where the rest of it goes. We're not buying yachts or investing in cryptocurrency like Chad probably does with his tips. So where is it? I click on the transaction history and start scrolling, and scrolling and scrolling some more. And with each swipe, I feel my blood pressure rising like I'm watching a horror movie, where the call is coming from inside the house. Netflix, $22 in a month. Okay, fine, that's normal. Except, wait, we have Netflix Premium with 4 screens because Harper insisted we needed it for when people come over to watch stuff, which has happened exactly 0 times because Harper doesn't actually like having people in the house unless she's filming content. Hulu, $99 month. Also fine, except I'm the only one who watches Hulu. Harper says it has poor interface design, which is influencer speak for it doesn't make me feel aesthetically superior. HBO Max, $15 month. For House of the Dragon, which we watched together once before Harper declared it too violent and went back to watching YouTube videos about morning routines. Disney Plus, $13 month. Haven't opened this app in 7 months. Paramount, 11 month. I genuinely forgot we had this one. Apple TV Plus, 9 month. Signed up for one show, watched 3 episodes, never canceled. That's $92.94 a month on streaming services, which is over $1,000 a year to watch The Office reruns on Netflix and pretend we're going to catch up on all the other stuff someday. But okay, streaming services are a modern necessity, like indoor plumbing and disappointing your parents. I can live with that. Then I see the subscriptions. Oh, the subscriptions. Harper's subscriptions is specifically all conveniently charged to my credit card because we have combined finances, which apparently means Logan pays for everything while Harper manifests abundance. ClassPass, $199 a month. For yoga classes, Harper attends maybe twice a month, which breaks down to roughly $100 per downward dog. I could hire a personal guru to follow her around and achieve enlightenment for cheaper. FabFitFun, $59.99 quarterly. A box of stuff Harper doesn't need that shows up every few months, like a materialistic Easter egg hunt. Last box included a jade roller and some kind of tea that promised to detoxify your aura. It's still sitting unopened in our hallway closet with the previous 3 boxes. Ipsy, $28 a month. Makeup samples. We have a drawer, an entire drawer, dedicated to tiny makeup samples Harper has never used because she's saving them for travel. Except she only travels to influencer events where they give her free makeup anyway. Thrive Market, $59.99 year for organic groceries. Harper orders once in a blue moon when she's on a clean eating kick that lasts approximately 4 days before she's back to door dashing Chipotle at midnight. Audible, 14.5 month. Harper listened to half of one book about manifesting your dream life and hasn't opened the app since. Meanwhile, I've accumulated 14 unused credits. Headspace, $12.99 month meditation app. Harper used it twice, declared she was already pretty zen, and moved on. Spotify Premium Family Plan, $16.99 month, which is fine, except Harper is the only one who uses it, and there's no family. It's just us. We are not a family plan. We're barely a couples plan at this point. Amazon Prime, $1.99 month. Okay, this one I use too, so I can't be mad. But Harper orders stuff at least 3 times a week. Usually things like specialty candles that smell like Norwegian forest at dawn, or books about wellness that she never reads but look good on the shelf. I'm doing mental math now, and I'm up to about $450 a month in subscriptions alone. That's $5,400 a year. I could buy a decent used car with that money. I could take an actual vacation to Norway and smell the actual forest at actual dawn instead of buying a $34 candle that approximates it. But it gets worse. Oh, it gets so much worse. I switch over to my credit card statement, and there it is. The real money pit. DoorDash charges. So many DoorDash charges. Harper doesn't cook. She doesn't vibe with the kitchen energy. So we order out approximately 19 times a week. Each charge is between $35 and $60. And when you factor in her insistence on tipping 30% because it's good karma, we're easily spending $800 a month on food delivery alone. Then there's the boutique fitness classes she buys single session passes for when ClassPass doesn't have availability. $45 here, $50 there, $38 for something called Aerial Yoga Flow with crystal healing integration. I don't know what that is, and I'm afraid to ask. Sephora purchases, $127.89, $243 from the dollars. 4 separate charges in the last month alone for makeup she absolutely does not need because we have an entire bathroom cabinet that looks like a Sephora exploded in it. Target runs that are somehow never less than $150, despite her claiming she's just running in for one thing. Target is where money goes to die, apparently. And then I see it. The charge that makes my eye twitch so hard, I'm worried I'm having a stroke. Bumble Premium. $39.9 month. I stare at this charge for a solid 30 seconds, waiting for it to make sense. Bumble, the dating app. Premium subscription. Charged to my credit card. My credit card that pays for my wife's life while she's apparently shopping for my replacement. I click on it to see the history. It's been charging monthly since February. It's November. That's 9 months. That's $360 spent on a premium dating app subscription while married to me. My hands are shaking, and I'm not sure if I'm furious or if this is what vindication feels like. Maybe both. Maybe this is what happens when you finally have proof that you're not crazy, that your gut feeling was right, that something was definitely wrong, and it wasn't just you being sensitive. I take a screenshot, then another. Then I screenshot the entire credit card statement, the bank account history, every subscription, every charge. I create a folder on my phone called Evidence right next to receipts from last night. Then I do something that feels both petty and powerful. I start canceling things. FabFitFun, canceled. Sorry, your aura detoxifying tea will have to manifest itself elsewhere. Ipsy, gone. Those tiny makeup samples can find another home. Headspace, unsubscribed. May your meditation journey continue without my funding. ClassPass, terminated. Namaste, but also name a stay away from my bank account. Every streaming service we don't actually need? Axed. If she wants to watch Disney Plus that badly, she can pay for it herself. But the Bumble subscription, that one I leave active. I want to see what she does when she realizes I know. I want to watch her scramble to explain why she needs premium access to a dating app while simultaneously posting tearful apology videos about how much she loves me. I'm on a roll now. I go into our shared phone plan, because of course we have a shared phone plan, and I see that I'm paying for not just Harper's phone, but also her mom Barbara's phone, and somehow Dylan's phone too, Dylan. My best friend, who just had a whole birthday party funded by my wife, is also getting his phone service subsidized by yours truly. When did I agree to this? I scroll back through my emails and find the exchange from 2 years ago. Harper had texted, "Hey babe, mom's having trouble with her phone bill and Dylan's broke again. Can we add them to our family plan? It's just a few dollars more." And I, being the absolute doormat champion of 2023, responded, "Sure, no problem." A few dollars turned out to be $85 more per month. That's over 2 grand a year I've been spending on phone service for people who apparently think I'm a combination ATM and emotional punching bag. I remove them both from the plan immediately. They'll get a notification that their service has been changed, probably sometime in the next few hours. I imagine Barbara mid-yoga stream when her phone suddenly stops working. I picture Dylan swiping through his premium dating app that I'm also probably subsidizing when suddenly his service cuts out. The thought makes me smile for the first time all morning. I keep digging. Our car insurance, I'm paying for Harper's car insurance, even though her car is technically in her name and was a gift from her parents, which really meant they bought it, and then immediately asked if I could help with the insurance since we're married and it's cheaper together. It's not cheaper. I checked. I'm paying an extra $140 a month because her driving record includes 2 speeding tickets and a fender bender she blamed on Mercury being in retrograde, the gym membership she never uses but won't cancel because she might go back eventually, $89 a month, the subscription box for organic dog treats. We don't have a dog. We've never had a dog. I don't know whose dog is eating these treats, but it's costing me $35 a month to find out. I'm adding it all up in my phone's calculator app, and the number is staggering. Between subscriptions, phone bills, insurance, food delivery, and random charges for things like Instagram aesthetic coaching, $200 a month, yes, really, and personal brand development consultation, $150 session, I've been funding somewhere between $20,500 and $3,000 per month of Harper's lifestyle. That's $30,000 to $36,000 a year. I could buy a new car every year with that money. I could take 12 actual vacations. I could retire earlier, invest it, save it, donate it to charity, literally anything other than financing the life of someone who couldn't even be bothered to put my name on a real birthday cake. I sit back against the motel headboard and I feel something shift inside me. Not anger anymore. Something colder, more calculated, like I've been playing a game where I didn't know the rules and I just realized I've been letting everyone else cheat while I followed every regulation perfectly. My phone buzzes. It's Harper. "Logan, what's going on? My ClassPass just canceled and it says you removed Mom and Dylan from the phone plan. Can you please stop being petty and just talk to me like an adult?" I stare at the message for a long moment. Then I type back a single emoji, just a thumbs up, nothing else. No explanation, no justification, no essay about financial boundaries or emotional labor or basic human decency. Just one simple thumbs up that somehow contains every ounce of figure it out yourself energy I've been suppressing for 3 years. I silence my phone, finish my terrible coffee, and feel something that might actually be happiness spreading through my chest. Not the revenge kind. Well, okay, maybe a little bit of the revenge kind, but mostly just the relief of finally stopping the bleeding. I've spent years being an ATM with feelings. Starting today, this bank is permanently closed. You know that feeling when you're waiting for a bomb to drop and you're simultaneously dreading it and also kind of excited to watch the explosion from a safe distance? That's exactly how I feel on day 3 of what I'm now calling Operation Financial Boundaries in my head, which sounds way more official than Logan finally grows a spine. I'm still at the Silver Lantern Motel, which has somehow become my fortress of solitude. Chad and I have developed a weird friendship based entirely on mutual understanding that sometimes life is garbage, and the best you can do is drink bad coffee and accept it. He's upgraded me to room 118 on the first floor, closer to the ice machine when we fix it. Plus, the couple upstairs sounds like they're training for American Ninja Warrior at 2 a.m. And honestly, it feels more like home than my actual house has in months. It's 7:02 a.m. when my phone starts vibrating like it's having a seizure. I've had it on Do Not Disturb since yesterday, but I programmed it to allow calls from certain numbers to come through. Not because I want to talk to these people, but because I want to witness the chaos in real time. I'm like a meteorologist watching a hurricane form, except instead of caring about the destruction, I'm sitting here with popcorn. The first text comes from Harper. Logan, what the hell? Did you mess with the Wi-Fi? Nothing's working, and I have a brand collaboration post I need to upload in an hour. This isn't funny. I sip my coffee. I've actually started to appreciate its burnt, slightly metallic flavor. It's growing on me like Stockholm Syndrome, but for beverages. And I don't respond. Just read the message, let her see the read receipt, and go back to scrolling through the news on my phone. 7:15 a.m., Barbara chimes in. Logan, my yoga stream froze mid-pose. I was in Warrior 2, and now I'm just stuck here like an idiot. The instructor already moved on to the next sequence, and I don't know what to do. Fix whatever you did to the internet. The image of Barbara frozen in Warrior 2, slowly losing her balance while staring at a buffering screen is almost too beautiful. I screenshot the message for my personal collection of moments that spark joy. 7:18 a.m., and here comes Dylan, right on schedule. Bro, what's going on? My dating app says payment failed, and now I can't see who liked me. Also, my phone service is weird. Did something happen with the account? Oh, Dylan. Sweet, oblivious Dylan, who's been riding the Logan gravy train for 2 years without ever once saying thank you or, I don't know, not letting my wife throw you a party on my birthday. I craft my response carefully, actually. No, I don't. I just send one emoji, one perfect passive aggressive, says everything without saying anything thumbs up. It's the digital equivalent of, I acknowledge that you've spoken, and that's all the energy I'm willing to invest in this interaction. The three dots appear immediately. Dylan's typing. The dots disappear. Appear again. Disappear. He's probably writing and deleting entire paragraphs, trying to figure out how to respond to a thumbs up. There is no correct response. It's a conversational dead end, a cul-de-sac of communication. It's perfect. 7:23 a.m., Harper again. Logan, I'm serious. I have a partnership with Glow Skin Vitamins, and if I don't post by 9 a.m., I lose the contract. Can you please just tell me what's wrong with the internet? I've tried everything. Tried everything except, paying for it yourself. Or acknowledging that actions have consequences, or realizing that the person who's been funding your influencer lifestyle might eventually get tired of being treated like a walking wallet with no feelings. I take a long, luxurious shower. The water pressure in room 118 is somehow even better than 2 and 14, which Chad says is because the pipes are backwards on this side of the building. Don't ask me why. And I take my sweet time. I use all the tiny bottles of shampoo. I use the conditioner even though my hair doesn't need it. I use the body lotion. I'm living like a man who has nowhere to be and all the time in the world to get there. When I finally check my phone again at 8:47 a.m., I have 23 missed calls and a string of texts that escalate from confused to angry to desperate in a beautiful arc of character development. Harper's journey through the 5 stages of grief is happening in real time. 7:45 a.m. Logan, this is childish. Just call me back. 8:03 a.m. I need the internet. This is affecting my job. You can't just do this. 8:15 a.m. Okay, I get it. You're mad. Can we please just talk about this like adults? I'll do whatever you want. Just turn the Wi-Fi back on. 8:31 a.m. I'm going to lose this contract. Do you understand that? This is money we need. 8:46 a.m. I can't believe you're doing this to me. After everything I've done for you. That last one makes me laugh out loud. Everything she's done for me. Everything she's done for me. Lady, you threw me a pity pizza box and called it a birthday celebration. You've been using my credit card like it's an unlimited money glitch in a video game. You're on a dating app while we're still married. But sure, tell me more about everything you've done for me. I'm fascinated. Barbara's messages are somehow even better. This is elder abuse. I'm a senior citizen and I need my yoga. What if I fall and hurt myself because I didn't get to finish my morning routine? You'll be responsible. I'm calling my lawyer. Barbara is 56 and has never been to a lawyer in her life except that one time She tried to sue Costco because they discontinued her favorite trail mix. She lost. The trail mix never came back. Dylan's trying a different approach. Look, man, I know things are weird right now, but can we just talk? I feel like there's been a misunderstanding about the party thing. Harper said you were cool with it. I never would have agreed if I knew you didn't know. Call me? At least Dylan's attempting accountability, even if it's wrapped in plausible deniability. Harper said you were cool with it, is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. It's the, I was just following orders defense of social situations. I decide Dylan deserves slightly more than a thumbs up. I type back, you had a birthday party at my house, on my birthday, paid for with my money, and you didn't think to check with me directly, not once? Make it make sense. The three dots appear and disappear for a solid 5 minutes. Eventually, he sends, yeah, okay, that's fair. I'm sorry, man, really. It's not enough, but it's something. More than Harper's offered anyway. 9:02 a.m. and my phone rings. It's Harper, calling for the 24th time. Against my better judgment, or maybe because I'm curious to see how this plays out, I answer, Logan. She doesn't even say hello, just my name like an accusation. What did you do? The Wi-Fi is completely dead, all my subscriptions are canceled, and Mom and Dylan are freaking out about the phone plan. Are you having some kind of breakdown? Do you need me to call someone? I'm fine, I say calmly, watching a bird land on the railing outside my window, and it's a sparrow or something. I don't know birds. It looks peaceful, though, just doing some financial housekeeping. Financial housekeeping? Financial housekeeping? Logan, I just lost a $3,000 brand deal because I couldn't post in time. You just cost us $3,000. I cost us? I repeat slowly. Harper, I've been spending 3 grand a month on subscriptions and services you don't use. I've paid Dylan's phone bill for 2 years. I've funded your entire influencer career while you've been shopping for my replacement on Bumble. So forgive me if I'm not super concerned about one missed brand deal. There's silence. Complete total silence. I can hear her breathing, fast and sharp, like she's trying to figure out which lie to tell first. The Bumble thing, that's not... I can explain that, she stammers. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you've got a whole story about how it's for market research or understanding the dating app demographic or whatever sounds good enough to post as a caption. But here's the thing. Harper, I don't actually care anymore. You don't care? Her voice goes up an octave. What does that mean? It means I'm done funding a life where I'm treated like an inconvenience. The Wi-Fi is in my name. The subscriptions were on my cards. The phone plan was my account. And I've canceled or changed all of it. You can't just, that's Logan, we're married. You can't just cut me off. I'm not cutting you off, I say. And I'm surprised by how calm I sound. Like I'm explaining basic math to someone who's insisting 2 plus 2 equals 5. I'm just not paying for things anymore. You're an adult. You have a job, allegedly. You can pay for your own stuff. My job requires the internet. It requires my phone. It requires... Then pay for them, I interrupt. Like every other adult in America. Pay for your own things with your own money. I don't have money, she shouts, and there it is. The truth bomb I've been waiting for. Everything I make goes into building my brand. The content creation, the photography equipment, the outfits for posts, it all costs money. You know this. So what you're saying is, your job doesn't actually make money. It costs money. Money that I've been providing while you treat me like I'm some kind of inconvenient roommate who exists to fund your aesthetic. That's not, you're twisting this. Am I? Harper, you threw another man a birthday party on my birthday. In my house. With my money. And then you told everyone I was fine with it. You humiliated me, it went viral, and instead of actually apologizing, you posted a tearful video with ukulele music. Then, when I didn't immediately come running back, you called me dramatic. Your mom called me sensitive. Your sister made fun of me online. And through all of this, I'm still paying for everyone's everything. So tell me, how exactly am I twisting this? I can hear her crying now, but it sounds different from her videos, less polished, more real. I didn't mean for it to be like that. I thought Dylan really wanted to celebrate at our place. And I thought it would be nice to do both birthdays together, and then it just spiraled and... Stop, I say quietly. Just stop. Because here's what I know. You spent more time planning Dylan's party than you've spent thinking about me in the last year. You've spent more money on ring lights and yoga classes than you ever have on our relationship. And you know what? That's fine. You're allowed to have priorities. But I'm also allowed to stop being your So what? You're just gonna leave me with nothing? No internet, no phone, nothing? You have everything you had before you met me, I point out. You just got used to having access to my everything too. There's a difference. She's full on sobbing now. I can't believe you're doing this. After 6 years together, you're just giving up? Harper, you gave up the moment you decided someone else's birthday was more important than mine. You gave up every time you prioritized content over our actual life. You gave up when you signed up for a dating app while wearing my ring. I'm not giving up. I'm just finally accepting what you've been showing me all along. Where are you? She asked suddenly. Where are you staying? We need to talk about this face to face. We really don't, I say. I think we've said everything we need to say. You wanted a life where you're the main character and everyone else is just supporting cast. Congratulations, you got it. But I'm not auditioning for that role anymore. I hang up before she can respond and immediately silence her number. My hands are shaking, but not from anxiety, from adrenaline, from the sheer rush of finally saying all the things I've been swallowing for years. I walk out to the motel balcony, lean against the railing next to where the sparrow is sitting, and take the deepest breath I've taken in possibly 3 years. My phone buzzes one more time. It's Chad, texting from downstairs. Heard you on the phone. You good? I've got extra coffee if you need it. I smile and text back. I'm good, but I'll take the coffee anyway. Best bad coffee I've ever had. There's something weirdly liberating about realizing you can just leave, like actually leave. Pack your car with the 3 shirts and 2 pairs of pants you've been rotating for the past week. Check out of a motel where you've somehow become best friends with a night clerk who watches crypto videos. And just drive away from your entire life like you're in a movie montage, except there's no inspiring soundtrack. Just the radio playing a commercial for a personal injury lawyer named Hammer Time Henderson, who promises to nail down your compensation. It's been a week since the phone call with Harper. A week of increasingly unhinged messages that I've watched pile up like a digital landfill. Voicemails that start with, please call me back, and end with, you're going to regret this. Texts from Barbara threatening legal action for emotional distress. Good luck with that, Barb. And even a few messages from concerned acquaintances who've seen Harper's latest Instagram posts about healing from betrayal and choosing yourself when others choose to leave. The comments on those posts are split between her followers saying, you're so strong, queen, and people who've apparently made it their full-time job to reply with screenshots from the original Pizza Box video captioned, LOL, the audacity. I'm not gonna lie, watching the court of public opinion slowly turn against her has been satisfying in a way that probably says something unflattering about my character. But I'm past the point of pretending I'm some kind of saint. Saints don't screenshot their wife's meltdown texts and save them in a folder labeled, for my therapist someday. I'm heading north, way north, upstate New York kind of north, where my college buddy Marcus moved 3 years ago to escape the rat race and now runs some kind of outdoor adventure company that only 70% sure isn't a elaborate cover for a cult. He's been texting me since the video went viral, and his messages have been refreshingly free of drama. Bro, come stay with me. I've got a spare room and literally nothing to do except hike and judge people's camping skills. Also, we have good pizza up here, not trauma pizza. Just regular pizza that won't become a metaphor for your failed relationships. I'm serious. Pack your shit and drive. You can help out with the business if you need money, or just sit around and figure out your life. Either way, you're not staying in a motel forever unless you're trying to become the protagonist of a sad indie film. Marcus gets it. Marcus has always gotten it. When everyone else was telling me I should just communicate better or try harder to understand Harper's needs, Marcus was the one guy who said, dude, you know it's not normal to feel tired all the time when you're 34, right? That's not aging, that's being drained. So I'm driving to Marcus, 6 hours north through increasingly scenic landscapes that make me feel like I'm in a car commercial where the tagline is find yourself or adventure awaits, or some other vague promise that buying a vehicle will solve your existential crisis. I've got the windows down because the AC in my 2015 Honda Civic sounds like it's harboring angry bees, and I'm blasting music, real music, the kind I used to listen to before Harper declared that my taste was too aggressive for morning drives and started controlling the aux cord like it was nuclear launch codes. Right now, I'm on the third playthrough of I Will Survive Man, and I'm not even embarrassed about it. Gloria Gaynor understood the assignment. Somewhere around hour 3, between a gas station that sells something called Tornado Dogs and a billboard advertising real authentic psychic readings, exit 47, I stop at a diner. Not a trendy brunch place with exposed brick and a menu that ironically serves cereal for $12. A real diner. The kind with vinyl booths, laminated menus sticky with decades of maple syrup, and a waitress who looks like she's seen some things and has opinions about all of them. Her name tag says Dolores, and she's probably in her 60s with hair dyed in an aggressive shade of red and reading glasses on a chain around her neck. She takes one look at me as I slide into a booth and immediately pours coffee without asking. Rough day, honey? She asks, and her voice sounds exactly like you'd expect. Part Brooklyn, part cigarettes, and part, I don't have time for your nonsense, but I'll still be nice about it. Rough decade, I correct her, and she laughs. A real laugh, not a polite chuckle. Then you need pancakes, she declares like this is a medical diagnosis. Nobody cries over pancakes. It's scientifically impossible. Is that a fact? Dolores's law. Never been proven wrong. She taps her pen against her notepad. Stack of 3 butter and syrup, side of bacon because you look like you need protein, and I'm gonna bring you a chocolate milkshake even though it's 11 in the morning because something tells me you're not worried about conventional meal timing right now. She's absolutely right, and I tell her so. While I wait for my food, I scroll through my phone one last time before I've decided I'm going full digital detox for the rest of the drive. Harper's posted again. Of course she has. This time it's a photo of her sitting on our back porch, my back porch, the one I pressure washed last summer, looking pensively at the sunset with a caption about finding peace in solitude and learning to fill your own cup. The top comment is from her mom. So proud of you, sweetheart. You don't need anyone who doesn't appreciate you. The second comment is from someone named @RealTalk. Rachel. Girl, didn't you literally just post about your husband abandoning you? Make it make sense. I don't even feel angry anymore, just tired. Tired of the performance, tired of the narrative spinning, tired of watching someone rewrite history in real time with strategic camera angles and motivational captions. Dolores returns with a plate of pancakes so perfectly golden they look like they belong in a food magazine. Except these ones are real and smell like actual heaven instead of whatever Harper's aesthetic breakfast posts smell like. Nothing, because she never actually eats them, just photographs them and then orders DoorDash. All right, diagnosis time, Dolores says, sliding into the booth across from me without asking, which should be weird, but somehow isn't. You got that look. What look? The I just escaped something look. I've seen it 100 times. This is a diner on a highway 3 hours from anywhere important. People don't stop here because they're having a great time. They stop here because they're running from something or running towards something, and they need pancakes to figure out which one it is. I take a bite of pancake, and she's right. It's impossible to be sad while eating these. Running from, I admit. Definitely running from. Wife, she guesses. That obvious? Honey, you're wearing a wedding ring, but you checked into a diner booth like you're a fugitive. Plus, you got that specific kind of exhaustion that comes from trying to make someone happy who's determined to be miserable. Am I warm? You're on fire, I say. I'm like concerningly accurate. Dolores shrugs. 3 divorces. I got a PhD in spotting the signs. What did she do? And just like that, I tell her. I tell this complete stranger in a highway diner the whole story, the pizza box, the party, the viral video, the Bumble subscription, the financial awakening, all of it. And Dolores listens, really listens, and occasionally nodding or making sympathetic noises or muttering, oh, honey, no, at the particularly bad parts. When I finish, she's quiet for a moment. Then she reaches across the table and pats my hand with her weathered, ringless fingers. You did the right thing, she says simply. I know it doesn't feel like it yet. Right now, it probably feels like you blew up your whole life over a birthday party. But trust me, you didn't leave because of a party. You left because that party was just the final piece of evidence in a case you'd been building for years. You finally had enough proof that you weren't crazy, that it wasn't all in your head, that you deserved better, and then you actually did something about it. I feel something weird happening to my face, and I realize with horror that I might actually cry in front of this woman I've known for 15 minutes. Oh, no, you don't, Dolores says, but she's smiling. Not over these pancakes. Dolores's law, remember? Here. She flags down a younger waitress and says, "Jenny, bring this man a milkshake, extra chocolate." The milkshake arrives, obscenely large and topped with whipped cream and a cherry that looks like it's been dyed a color that doesn't exist in nature. It's perfect. "Where are you headed?" Dolores asks. "Friend's place, upstate. He's got a spare room and probably a lecture about how I should have left years ago." "Good. You need people who'll tell you the truth. And you need to be somewhere that isn't," she gestures vaguely, "wherever you came from. Fresh start, new scenery, all that cliche stuff that's cliche because it's true." I finish my pancakes, drink half the milkshake, saving room for the next gas station coffee because I've developed a concerning addiction. And when Dolores brings the check, it's for $8. "That can't be right," I say. "Divorce discount," she explains. "Well, pre-divorce, whatever you want to call it. On the house. Use the money you saved to buy yourself something nice when you get where you're going. Something just for you. Something she never would have let you have." I leave her a $40 tip. "You trying to make me cry now?" she calls after me as I head for the door. "Dolores Latham," I call back. "Nobody cries over good tips." Her laugh follows me all the way to my car. I get back on the highway and something feels different, lighter. Like I've physically left something heavy at that diner booth, something I'd been carrying so long I forgot it wasn't supposed to be part of me. The landscape gets prettier as I drive. More trees, fewer strip malls, actual hills instead of the flat, nothing I've been staring at for 3 years. My phone buzzes with a text from Marcus. "ETA? 2 hours." I type back at a red light. Fair warning, I'm emotionally unstable and might cry about pancakes. Bro, I've got a whole emotional support system prepared, by which I mean beer and a fire pit. See you soon. I merge back onto the highway. And for the first time in possibly years, I'm actually excited about something. Not anxious excited or obligated excited or this will look good on Instagram excited. Just genuinely looking forward to what comes next. I Will Survive comes on the radio again. It's like the universe is really committed to this theme, and this time I don't just sing along. I full on belt it, off key and passionate, like I'm auditioning for a musical about middle aged divorce and self discovery. A truck driver in the next lane gives me a thumbs up. I give him one back. Best drive of my life. Marcus's town is exactly the kind of place that people from cities describe as charming, when they mean there's one traffic light and it's been broken for 6 months, but nobody's in a hurry anyway. It's got a main street that's actually called Main Street. No irony, no quirky alternative name, just Main Street because that's what it is and why complicate things? There's a hardware store, a library that's open most days, a bar called The Rusty Nail that looks like it's held together by prayer and questionable health code violations, and right in the middle of it all, a coffee shop with a hand-painted sign that says Hazel's Brew. I've been in town for 3 days, sleeping on Marcus's surprisingly comfortable couch and helping him organize equipment for his outdoor adventure business, which turns out to be less cult-like and more teaching city people how to not die in the woods while kayaking. It's honest work, and Marcus pays me in cash, home-cooked meals, and the kind of friendship where someone can look at you and say, "You look less dead than last week," and you know it's a compliment. But right now, I need coffee, real coffee. Not motel sludge, not gas station diesel fuel, not whatever Marcus makes in his ancient percolator that tastes like it's been filtered through an old boot. I need the kind of coffee that comes from a place where someone actually cares about the beans and the temperature and whether or not you're having a good day. Which is how I end up at Hazel's Brew at 8:30 on a Saturday morning when the place is already half full with locals who all seem to know each other's names and coffee orders and probably their entire family histories going back 3 generations. The shop itself is aggressively cozy, exposed brick walls covered in local art. That's actually good. Mismatched furniture that somehow works together. Plants hanging in macrame holders that don't look like they're trying too hard to be trendy. There's a chalkboard menu written in handwriting, so perfect it looks like a font. And the whole place smells like coffee and cinnamon and the kind of safety that comes from knowing nobody here has ever heard of Hash Pizza Box Birthday. Behind the counter is a woman, mid-30s maybe, dark hair pulled back in a messy bun that actually looks messy instead of, I spent 20 minutes making this look effortless, wearing an apron that says caffeine before catastrophe in faded letters. She's laughing at something an older customer said. And it's one of those real laughs, that makes her whole face change. The kind Harper used to do before she realized that certain angles were more on brand for Instagram. When it's my turn to order, she looks up and smiles, and I immediately forget every coffee drink I've ever heard of. First time, she asks, and her voice has this quality that makes you feel like you've already been friends for years and you're just catching up. That obvious? Small town, I know everyone's order, and you're definitely not a regular. I'm Hazel. Welcome to the best coffee shop within a 15-mile radius. She pauses. Also the only coffee shop within a 15-mile radius, but the point stands. Logan, I say, and then, because my brain-to-mouth filter has apparently been destroyed by the past 2 weeks of emotional chaos, I add, I'm having an extended crisis and was told your coffee could help. I expect her to do that thing people do. The awkward laugh, the quick subject change, the, oh, that's nice. Anyway, what can I get you? But instead, Hazel leans on the counter and says, crisis scale of 1 to 10? Because I've got different drinks for different levels of existential dread. Solid 8, I admit, maybe 8.5. Okay, 8.5 gets you the Hazel special. Double shot espresso, oat milk, because regular milk feels too conventional when your life is falling apart, cinnamon, and a tiny bit of vanilla that I'll deny using if anyone asks because it's technically off menu. Also, she reaches under the counter and pulls out a chocolate croissant. This, on the house, because you look like you need carbs, and I'm a firm believer in butter-based therapy. I can pay for the croissant, I protest, but she waves me off. First crisis discount. Everyone gets one. After that, you pay full price like everyone else. She starts making the drink, and I watch her move behind the counter with the kind of efficiency that comes from doing something 1,000 times and actually caring about doing it well. So what brings you to our tiny corner of the world? Besides the crisis. Friend of mine lives here. Marcus runs the outdoor adventure thing. Oh, Marcus. Yeah, he's great. Helped my brother learn to kayak without drowning, which was honestly a 50-50 proposition at the time. She finishes the drink and slides it across the counter in a real ceramic mug, not a paper cup. So you're staying with Marcus. How long? Honestly, I have no idea. It was supposed to be a few days, and now it's been almost 2 weeks, and I'm starting to think I might just stay. Is that weird? In this town, that's basically the origin story of half the people here. We've got 3 other refugees from bad relationships, 2 people escaping corporate jobs that were killing their souls, and one guy who just really liked the way the mountains looked and never left. You'll fit right in. I take a sip of the coffee, and I'm not exaggerating when I say it might be the best thing I've ever tasted. It's smooth and rich and somehow tastes like comfort feels. This is incredible. Told you, she grins, and then she tilts her head slightly, studying me. Wait, Logan. Logan. Her eyes go wide. Oh my God, are you the pizza box guy? My stomach drops. Of course. Of course. I can't escape it. I'm going to be pizza box guy forever. It's going to be on my tombstone. Here lies Logan. His wife threw him a pizza box. But then Hazel does something unexpected. She starts laughing. Not mean laughing, not mocking, but the kind of genuine, empathetic laughter that says, I get it, and also that's absolutely ridiculous, and you must have felt insane. I'm so sorry, she says, wiping her eyes. I'm not laughing at you, I promise. I'm laughing at the absurdity. A pizza box? Like a pizza box? As a birthday present? She pauses, searching for words. That's like something a sitcom writer would pitch and get told is too unrealistic. And yet it happened, I say, and I'm smiling despite myself. Documented for all of internet eternity. I saw the video, she admits, like everyone saw the video. You went viral in a way that usually requires either a cat or a catastrophic failure of judgment. But for what it's worth, the comments were mostly on your side. People were roasting your wife. I know, I watched it happen in real time. It was like a national sport for 3 days. Can I ask you something? Hazel says, leaning on the counter again. And you can totally tell me it's none of my business. At this point, my entire life is everyone's business. Ask away. Why'd you stay as long as you did? Because even from the 30-second video, you can kind of tell this wasn't a one-time thing. That was the face of a man who's been dealing with this level of disrespect for a while. I take another sip of coffee, buying time to figure out how to answer. You ever stay in something because leaving feels harder than staying? Like, you know it's bad, but at least it's familiar bad. You know the patterns, you know what to expect. Leaving means admitting you wasted years, admitting you were wrong, dealing with everyone's opinions and questions. It's easier to just keep going. Hazel nods slowly. Yeah, I get that. I really, really get that. Something in her tone makes me look up. Speaking from experience? Oh, big time. My ex-husband was an influencer. Well, he wanted to be an influencer. Mostly, he just took pictures of our food before we could eat it and got mad when I didn't perform excitement correctly for his videos. She shakes her head. 3 years of my life spent being a supporting character in someone else's content. When I finally left, he posted this whole thing about toxic partners who don't support your dreams, and half his followers sent me hate messages. Jesus, right? So when I saw your video, I was like, oh, this guy knows exactly what I'm talking about. The pizza box was just the physical manifestation of being treated like a prop in someone else's story. We stare at each other for a moment, and there's this understanding that passes between us. The kind that only happens when you meet someone who's been through the same specific brand of nonsense and came out the other side. So you moved here and opened a coffee shop? I ask. Yep, took every penny from the divorce settlement, moved to the smallest town I could find that still had reliable internet, and decided to do something that made me happy instead of something that looked good in photos. Best decision I ever made. She gestures around the shop. This place is mine. My rules, my vibe, my crappy handwriting on the chalkboard. Nobody tells me the aesthetic is wrong or the lighting isn't flattering or whatever. That sounds really nice, actually. It is. And you know what the best part is? The people here are real, like aggressively real. They'll tell you if your coffee tastes like dirt, or if you look tired, or if your life choices are questionable. But they'll also bring you soup when you're sick and help you move furniture and not post about it for engagement metrics. A customer comes in, an elderly man who Hazel greets by name. Hey, Mr. Peterson, usual. And I take my coffee and croissant to a table by the window. I watch Hazel work, chatting easily with the regulars, remembering details about their lives, making drinks with the kind of care that suggests she actually enjoys what she does. My phone buzzes. It's Harper, because of course it is. The message says, Logan, we need to talk about the house. You can't just abandon our life together. This is immature and you're embarrassing both of us. Call me. I look at the message. Then I look at Hazel, laughing at something Mr. Peterson said. Then I look out the window at this little town where nobody knows me as anything except Marcus's friend who's having a crisis and the guy who likes the Hazel special. I delete the message without responding. 20 minutes later, after I've finished the world's best croissant and I'm debating whether getting a second coffee is socially acceptable, Hazel comes over with a fresh mug. Refills are free for people who look like they're making important life decisions, she explains, setting it down. You've got that look. What look? The I'm deciding whether to go back to my old life or build a new one look. It's very distinctive, so which is it? I wrap my hands around the warm mug and think about it. Really think about it. I think I'm done going back to places that never felt like home. Hazel smiles, not a big dramatic smile, just a small, genuine one that reaches her eyes. Good answer. And hey, if you need a job while you figure things out, I could use someone to help with the morning rush. Pays decent, includes free coffee, and the only requirement is that you don't be a dick to customers. I think I can manage that. Then welcome to Hazel's Brew, Logan. Try not to let your ex-wife's drama follow you here. We've got a strict no toxic energy policy, and I enforce it religiously. I laugh, and it feels good, natural, like something I used to do before I forgot how. Deal, I say, and we shake on it. For the first time in 2 weeks, hell, maybe 2 years, I feel like I might actually be okay. Not fixed, not healed, not perfectly put together, just okay. And right now, okay feels like winning. Plus, the coffee really is incredible. I should have known peace couldn't last forever. It's been exactly 1 week since I started working at Hazel's Brew, learning how to make cappuccinos that don't look like crimes against humanity, and actually enjoying the simple routine of waking up, going to work, and coming home without someone criticizing how I breathe. Marcus has been great about letting me crash at his place. And I've even started looking at apartments in town, small ones, the kind where you can afford rent without selling a kidney or funding someone else's influencer lifestyle. Then, on a Tuesday afternoon when I'm cleaning the espresso machine and humming along to the radio like some kind of reformed human being, there's a knock on my apartment door. Heavy, determined. The kind of knock that says, I drove 6 hours to have this conversation, and I'm not leaving until I do. I look through the peephole, and my stomach immediately drops into my shoes. Harper, standing in my doorway wearing a Live, Laugh, Love hoodie, like she ordered it specifically from the irony department, her hair in a ponytail, makeup perfectly done, even though she's supposedly here for a raw, real conversation. She's got her phone in one hand, probably already recording content about her journey to reconciliation or whatever spin she's planning. I open the door but don't invite her in. How'd you find me? Dylan told me where Marcus lives, she says, and of course he did. Logan, we need to talk. You can't just run away from our marriage. I didn't run away. I left. There's a difference. This is ridiculous. You're throwing away 6 years over a misunderstanding. It wasn't a misunderstanding, Harper. You knew exactly what you were doing. Her eyes start tearing up, and I can literally see her calculating whether crying will work here. I made a mistake, okay? Can't you just forgive me? Isn't that what marriage is about? Marriage is also about respect and basic human decency, and maybe not having a premium dating app subscription while you're still wearing your ring. I cross my arms. I'm done, Harper. Actually done. You turned my life into content, humiliated me publicly, and the only thing you're sorry about is that people didn't side with you. That's not true. You posted a tearful apology video with background music. You literally soundtracked my pain for engagement. She stares at me, and for the first time, I see something other than calculated emotion, maybe actual realization that this isn't going how she planned. So what, you're just going to stay here? In this town with these people? Yeah, I say simply. I am. Because these people treat me like a human being, not a wallet with feelings they can ignore. You're ruining your image. She tries one last time. Funny, I tell her. You ruined it for me first, on camera. This is me finally taking it back. Then I do something I should have done months ago. I close the door. Quietly, calmly, without yelling or dramatics. Just close it. Like I'm closing a chapter in a book I'm done reading. Through the door, I hear her say something else, but I don't listen. I'm already walking back to my living room, texting Hazel. Crisis averted. Might need extra coffee tomorrow, though. She replies immediately. Already brewing it. Proud of you, pizza box guy. I smile. 6 months later, I turn 35, and for the first time in years, I'm actually looking forward to it. Hazel closes the coffee shop early and transforms it into what she calls a proper birthday celebration for people who've been traumatized by previous birthday celebrations. There's streamers, balloons, and most importantly, a real cake. An actual honest-to-God cake with my name on it. No pizza boxes in sight. My coworkers show up. The ones from Hazel's and from Marcus's adventure company. Mr. Peterson brings his wife. Even Chad texts from 3 hours away, Happy birthday, man. You did good. They sing off key. I blow out candles, and nobody's filming it for content. Nobody's making it about someone else. It's just nice. Beautifully, simply nice. Later that evening, a small package arrives at my door. No return address. Inside is a framed photo from that infamous night. Me standing frozen while everyone cheers for Dylan. On the back, a note in handwriting I don't recognize. You deserved better. I'm sorry. I stare at it for a long moment, then put it in a drawer labeled Lessons. Not receipts or evidence, just lessons. Because that's all it is now. A reminder of who I don't want to be and what I won't accept anymore. Hazel and I spend the rest of the night on her apartment balcony, eating leftover cake and watching terrible movies. She falls asleep halfway through, her head on my shoulder, and I realize something important. This is what happy feels like. Not Instagram perfect, not performance ready, just real. My phone buzzes, Harper's number. I don't even look at the message before deleting it. Because here's what I finally learned. Sometimes the best revenge isn't fire or fury or proving someone wrong. Sometimes it's just frosting, good company, and the quiet satisfaction of knowing you chose yourself. And that tastes better than any pizza ever could.